guys, this is Tina B.
And Charmaine G.
We're here to talk about the messiness of life. It's ugly.
And it's raw.
It's real.
And it's a freaking game.
It's whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole!
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole!
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole!
This is us.
And our gift to you.
Here we are.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
So here's the deal. I'm feeling good today. I feel like it's going to be in tune. When we left last week, I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, that was good. But this week, I feel like, let's bring this shiz. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready to do something big podcast-wise, honestly. We've gone so many episodes now. We're like halfway through our gig. We started in August, so we're like 6 months in.
Yep. Woohoo.
And I'm ready to break out big with it.
Yeah,
I really am. I'm not kidding.
Niche. And we were just, again, round robin, thinking about what vision do we have? What do we have? The game of life, the whack-a-mole concept, it makes sense because we're all living it. But then when we have like this deep root that we want to just kind of keep partitioning out and shelling out and peeling back this onion, you never know what you're going to get.
Together.
They don't make sense.
No, you're adorable.
You know what?
I love it.
Thanks, Tina. I honestly feel like you just wait because we're only 6 months into it, and 4 years from now, you're going to wish you had the whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole, what do you call it? Merch?
Oh.
Swag?
We need to develop some merch.
Let's get some swag going.
We need some masks.
Do you think DSU will sponsor us some swag?
Let's just say STFU.
I know a guy.
He
You
does
do?
know a guy. He did tell
guy.
me that. Mm-hmm. I know.
Oh my gosh, we could give promos away. I want a swag.
We need merch. We need a lot of stuff.
Let's merch this up.
We're just new. We're spitballing most of what we do. The one thing we are serious about is our topics.
You need mallets, little mallets with your logo
We
on it.
do.
Little wacky mallets.
That would be fun. Like little ones that squeak or something when you like
Like the dog
like
toys.
fuzzy mallets.
Viewers, reach out. Give us some
We
concepts.
should have a mallet with us, like so I could just come over the plexiglass
And hit
just
my head.
bonk you right in the head.
It hit my head.
We have never recorded without this. We've been in the pandemic since
You
we
cannot
started.
see
Look at
this,
that.
you guys.
And
but
because of that, you guys have no COVID. Here, let me go to the widescreen so they can see.
Because of that, Sean.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
because
you.
of that one
Bless
thing.
you.
Thank you for the safety.
So put your hands on the screen so they can see it.
We're partitioned. And I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it isn't firm down, and it just fell on Tina's head.
It did. Well,
second
because I
ago.
put my elbow on it thinking I was something special. And it came tumbling down. Sean hopped out of his chair the fastest I've ever seen him move.
That's called a lawsuit. That's why.
Quite
I have
the
less
thing.
of me to move, so that's why I can move so fast.
Sean lost weight.
Can you
Tell
show
us
us?
how much?
About 30 pounds.
30 pounds.
It
In what
shows.
time
I
You
frame?
look
got-
good.
Since November-ish.
That's amazing.
No gym.
Through the holidays,
No
too.
gym.
Tell me how you're doing it. What are
no
you doing?
soda, zero soda.
Oh, soda's a big thing for people.
Yeah, it was, so I'm down to maybe one Diet Coke every couple days
Okay.
rather than like 5 Mountain Dews a day.
Oh.
That
So-
was your thing.
You were
then.
Yeah.
fully loaded.
Oh, yeah. And then just portions and little things like, okay, less dairy, less bread, little things like that.
Yeah.
And then just eating, I'll go to like Panda and I'll get something. I'll eat half of it now and half of it later. It took a long time to get
That's
to
a
that
lot of
point.
discipline.
It's a lot.
That place is like going to a crack den. Panda.
Oh, Panda? Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's got everything. MSG, it's got sugar. I mean, they make all those bins in the back with all the pretty vegetables stacked. Like, I think they might.
Those are just pictures.
Oh, they are?
Or it's all like waxed fruit, waxed
Yeah.
vegetables.
I thought it was fresh.
But they're chintzy with their stuff too. I'm like, can I try the? And she's like, yeah. Can I try? Never mind.
Your minimum wage making Chinese food, really? Come on.
It's full of sugar, but it's so so good. And the
Yeah.
You
noodles.
don't ask for a sample, you get the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're like, and if you don't like it, next time you go, you just
I have ordered things there that I haven't liked, but I did that day
What?
just wanted to eat the shrimp.
I'm actually going to go there and
Yes,
get my
yeah.
3-meal entree after this. That's what I do.
I
load
didn't
it
know.
up.
I did not know that they had those. I always got the single. I was walking out. Someone's like, "Yeah, I want the big plate." I'm like, for the years I've been here, I've never heard the big plate. Mm-hmm. What is that? 3 entrees?
It's like the big salad.
Three servings of whatever you want. You can have a variety, and then the lo mein noodles, or you can do
I should
rice.
have known this when I was a chunker.
And you can do half and half too. You can do half rice and half noodles.
Yeah. And so I feed one big plate feeds me and my 2 children.
There you go.
Yep. And $10 a pop. Never have to cook another time.
I like their kung pao. I think it's just
Kung pao. So this last week, congratulations, Sean.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
I got another 15 to 20 where is my goal.
That's your goal.
Yeah. So I think 10 is realistic, but if I can get 15 to 20, I'll be whatever.
Good
then
for
I have to
you.
go to the gym so I can actually like lift myself.
So then you're going to sculpt after you lose.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we like to call it. We got to lift that skin that's hanging there, huh?
Well, I got a Sharpie. I just draw abs.
I like it.
spray tan.
Got a 13 pack. Look at that.
Just put some chalk on your T-shirt for shadowing on your right here. Yeah, that's cool.
No, that's a big deal. And it's a lifestyle change. It's not just like a crash diet or just a fad thing that you're getting into. You just changed your eating habits.
How do you
your
feel
patterns.
about dropping the soda? So what is okay?
That was
so,
hard. That was hard because I was a fan of Swig, and so I always got my Swig drinks. I had my specialty ones.
You can send a sponsor check over to DSU Radio.
Yeah, well, we should probably do that. Let me explain what Swig is for people who are listening that don't live in Utah. Utahns are obsessed with 2 things: ice cream and soda.
No, and the temperature of their caffeine.
Either
okay.
hot or cold.
Yes,
I take
that's
it both
true.
ways. Yep.
So Swig is a drive-in place where you can get sodas
A $6 Coke
that are yes.
that has
Well, they're
vanilla in it.
flavored. They're flavored, or you
Yeah.
can get like a dirty Dr. Pepper. That's my favorite
Yeah.
when I do drink soda, which is seldom. It's Dr. Pepper with coconut cream.
I get my wife the double
So
dirty
freaking
Pepsi.
good.
Oh,
So she gets a 44 with a double shot of coconut. Oh, that's when I know I'm in trouble. I give it, and then I'm not in trouble anymore.
The line is around the corner at
Every
any
time.
Swig.
Yeah.
At any Swig.
Yeah,
So,
and there's 3 locations. There actually was a big, huge lawsuit because there was another So Delicious, I think, was
It was
coming.
the word dirty.
Yes.
Who owned the word dirty?
Who owned the word dirty on a specialty drink? I think
I think
Swig
it depends
won.
on who you ask.
Well, I mean, you can go to Freddy's car wash,
Fat Freddy's.
and they
It's
actually have
Fabulous
dirty Dr.
Freddy's.
Pepper.
Well,
So
the lady who runs the Fabulous Freddy's, the Splash, used to run the Swig.
really,
Yeah, so it's like car dealers. People, people do car sales.
Yeah.
They make the rounds. One day they're over at Finley. A couple of weeks later they're over at Stephen Wade.
Yep.
Then they're back over there.
and they can't carry the word dirty with you. You
Same
got to
thing-
keep it in one spot.
I'm opposed to communities, people, businesses just hijacking vocabulary
I mean, you can actually patent
or logos.
something.
Come on.
I get it, but I'm telling
And
you,
you
they
know
put
what?
a business under by doing that.
It's really hard for me to sanction the Mormons wanting to use dirty so much that they would like.
What else do we have? I mean, what else do we have? We can
It's
only
not-
say
This is
it.
true. They have
I'll have
Swig, and then the rest of them have,
Mine's a
the
32
one and
ounce.
only bar.
I'll have a naughty Mountain Thunder.
And
Mountain Thunder from down under. I get a 32 ounce Super Trooper. It's an energy drink, and yes, I like my caffeine cold. I like it hot too, though. But
Well, they used to have a drink over at Swig called the Red Storm, and they stopped doing it because they changed their energy drinks. But it was it was lemonade Rockstar with strawberry and raspberry puree.
ooh, that's,
and wasn't
that's
it
what they
for
get
here?
at.
We're-
Yeah, it was just
It was
for
for
the college. So they stopped,
yeah.
but they'll
Dixie
make
State.
it for you over at Splash though.
Ah,
Because the lady who invented it at Swig is now at Splash. And so it's like, all right. So you have to go buy the can of lemonade, and then they'll make it for you. So it's all pureed. It's 32 ounces. Oh, my God. I'm ready to get off the diet. Oh,
oh, don't do it!
No.
Don't
I'll be
jump
back in a
ship.
few. I got to get a drink.
They also do these like fruit waters. So, and I've gotten those a couple of times.
And they're really good because they're fresh chunks of fruit, and the straws they give you is about a half-inch diameter, so you're literally sucking up the chunks. I've choked.
That's
I'm
what
not
she
gonna
said.
lie.
Couldn't help it.
That was amazing, actually. No, I sit there in a business meeting and have fruit water. I'm like,
Yeah. And
banana
today
flavored?
we have licorice today too.
No, it's strawberry and mango.
Oh, okay.
I'm over plugging Swig. What were we just talking about before we came on the air?
Me
that I
losing
thought
weight.
was-
And
Losing weight.
then we're talking about all the dirty stuff off the air and how you know exactly how dirty I am, and then you're
Yes.
trying to play innocent.
I
Oh
am innocent.
my gosh.
I don't need to play. I'm totally innocent. Okay, so here's the thing. We all be who we want to be. Okay.
I said safety word. You knew what it was.
What was it?
Exactly.
Check in, Tina. This last week, how was it for you?
I spent the most laziest weekend ever.
You
Not
love 'em?
kidding. No, I mean like I barely got off the couch. I knew he was
knew
going to.
I had
I
to
knew
rubberneck
there was
that one
too
really
much
fast.
of a pause there. Greg and I mean, we did our thing. You know, we do our chores and go shopping and out and about and all that. And then Saturday we just binged. We've been watching Survivor for weeks now. We're
oh
just
my gosh.
we're just obsessed. It's pretty sad,
Wait,
actually.
the TV show?
Yeah.
The one that's been on for 20 years?
Yeah.
You've been binging it since you started season 1?
We didn't start at season 1. We actually started because Netflix put 2 seasons on, 28 and 29.
Okay.
And then we were like, oh shit, we really like this. Well, I would watch it on TV and Greg hated it. But then when we watched it on Netflix, he was hooked. So then we went to Hulu where they have every season.
Uh-huh.
So we had to work our way back.
So
We are
are you
plugging-
working backwards per season?
We are. It's the kookiest thing. We went back to 20 and went up to 27.
Shame on you.
And then we started going backwards.
doing it wrong.
Well,
Seriously. No, I wouldn't say you're doing it wrong, but you could just see the quality of product from the beginning to the
Totally.
end
totally.
in reverse, like
Yeah.
Benjamin Button.
Benjamin
That's
Button.
like watching
Yeah.
Pixar movies backwards and then seeing Toy Story going, this was a crappy
Okay.
looking movie.
This wasn't the point of my story. Thanks
Oh.
for putting me down. I feel really
It's
bad
okay.
about
Keep
myself.
watching your Survivor.
I love it. So we did that and we binged it. What else did we watched? Oh, you know what? We watched Palmer on Apple TV with Justin Timberlake.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. It's a story about a man who comes out of prison. I'm not going to spoil it.
Is it a movie?
And he
then?
develops a relationship with the kid next door who's from a horrible home. Mom's addicted and just and the kid stays there a lot. Excuse me. And this never happens until I'm on the air.
Bubbles.
Oh yeah, just burping, sniffing. I need a tissue. It's,
And we don't get
yeah,
it edited out because we're live.
We are. So it was really good. We watched that, and then
Did you
I just
shower?
did nothing. I did. I must not have. I think I did. I didn't wash my hair, so I try not to do that on. The weekends are mine. The older I get, I want from Friday at 6:30 when I get out of work
Yeah.
to Tuesday night. I want nothing to do with anything that I
Anything-
have to do.
And solve and fix and
yeah.
yes, raise your hand if anybody can relate to that because
Totally.
it is time to defrag.
I was in my comfies. Sunday we did. It was just the 3 of us, but we did some pigs in a blanket. That's a big football food thing. I did
Super Bowl.
I roasted a pork and did pork nachos, and I have a ton of pork left over.
She said.
And then what else did we make? I made some bread pudding. I made, oh my gosh, just what else did I make? Oh, bruschetta and it was
Ooh,
just
you say
it
that
was
very
all
beautiful.
it was good.
So you can-
Bruschetta. Ugh, so good.
I want some.
It's so good.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. I came in on the half show because I was driving home from working in Salt Lake at the legislature and hit the halftime show. Everybody was mute, not impressed. Feedback from what I'm hearing. Commercials were okay. They're not the same as what they were, Budweiser. This is hearsay because I am only seeing them after the fact. But Tom Brady, hats off to him.
That guy's something else, man. I mean,
it was a great scrimmage for him to win.
Was that not the truth?
It was, yeah. I mean, they beat the Queefs bad, really bad.
That's the first time and the best way of referencing.
I stole
to
that
it.
from hubby.
How do you get traded and have so many Super Bowls under your belt and go
He
to
took
another
them
team?
out of the gutter. This team,
Yeah,
like,
took
oh
them
my gosh.
out of the gutter and won a Super Bowl in the first season.
Well, great quarterbacks do that. I mean, this was going back my year of growing up watching the 49ers when Joe Montana left the Niners. He went to the Chiefs. and in 2 years took it from like one of the crappiest teams. I think they made it to the playoffs.
Really?
So it was one of those things. Yeah, a good quarterback can change the team.
Oh, it is the actual. That's why they're called the quarterback, because they can take the whole team on their back. My thing is though.
I thought it was only 25% of them.
Well, that's what she said.
I was just gonna say.
Hold on, though. Do you think he's the all-time Tom Brady?
He's a GOAT. I think he's the great.
You think he is the GOAT, huh?
Well, we all have our quarterbacks, as Sean pointed out, from our childhood that
Mine's
we were like,
Peyton. Mine's
Yeah.
Peyton
yours
Manning.
Peyton, yours is
I think it's
Joe Montana.
I think it's generational. Yeah, I think.
And I'm gonna go way old school. And
Namath.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Joe Namath played for the Jets. Broadway Joe. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody has their idea.
I just go for the food.
He is
to
a
be honest with
strong
you.
leader. He's just a strong leader. There's just when you can step into a role like that and take a team and bring them together, it's more than him just throwing passes to Gronk, which he twice did in a row on Sunday. It's
and
more
off
than
the
that.
field.
Yeah, he's just doing, he's probably now just operating at such a high frequency. I mean, I've watched parts of that documentary of his. Oh, he had a Facebook thing. And I tuned in a couple of times, and he's got a diet thing going on. He's got an exercise regimen. He's calling it in. He's bringing it. He's attracting this beautiful energy, and it's awesome.
And what do you think he's at in his career? Probably midway.
Oh, Brady?
Yeah.
He's old.
He says he wants to go 2 more years, I think.
That's it.
He's,
Huh?
he's what, 42, 43?
Yes, 42.
And I think he said he wants to go till 45.
We'll see.
And then I was like, wait a second. When did Brett Favre retire? Or did he retire? Because he had the same thing. Like, you going to retire? Yes, no. And then he came
Decade
back.
later, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's still playing or not. Brett Favre.
I think he's done. I think he is done. Yeah, he's done.
He was in with something about Mary, and I think he was done then, right?
I think he still played. I think he came back from retirement.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I do.
So,
And
that
where's
was what we
Cameron
did.
Diaz? I don't see her anymore.
You know what?
She quit acting.
She did.
She became a mom.
She did.
Really?
Got married.
Yes.
She's like, going to be a housewife.
So when her and Justin broke up, she just was like, I can't live like this anymore. Justin Timberlake.
Was she with him?
I don't
Oh
remember.
my gosh, for a long time.
Going back.
She was-
No.
Yes,
No.
I promise. Look it up. That I
She's
know because I was shocked myself.
He is going to look it up too. Mm-hmm. So that was the weekend. What did you do? Did you do anything for Super Bowl? I'm thinking not because
I
you
drove
were,
home. I drove home from working out of town. I worked at the Capitol. It was different up there. Everything's, you actually have to get a
Are
COVID
you surrounded
test.
by this constantly
No,
everywhere?
it's you definitely have social distancing, but they've converted. There's no more cafeteria. There's no more dining hall, and that's where a lot of people that were remote would host meetings with legislative bodies. Outside of that, if you wanted to go to committees and sit in, you actually had to go get a COVID test, show them the results of negative before you could even go in the room. For the first little bit, they actually didn't allow public access because of the threats during the presidency and election campaign. The Highway Patrol came in and had a lot of intel that was showing that there could be potential. And so they didn't allow the public to come in, but it was snowing. It was cold down here. It was warm, but my boyfriend flew in, and we ended up meeting up and having dinner at Rodizio Grill.
I've never been there.
Oh
Is that
my
good?
gosh, yes! It's like just the most succulent and beautiful meat that they just shave off of these.
That's what she said.
They shave off.
Oh,
the
it's like
skewers.
the Brazilian.
Yeah, the Brazilian
thing.
thing. Yeah, and I literally acted like a fool because I didn't want to be one of those. I'm just going to eat a salad just because I did not know the other parties that we were doubling with, and I was like, they were like, "How many portions?" I'm like, "We'll have the whole thing."
Right.
And I literally got constipated for 2 days. I ate so much freaking meat.
Too
I
much
have
protein.
to tell the world that because we've got Isogenic soft cell commercial happening right now. No.
So we've plugged Swig. Now we're going to do the Isogenics. So was it one of those places they bring it to the table? It's on the skewer.
Yeah.
And did they give you like a little thing that you turn over when you
Yeah,
want
and never
more meat?
turned it over. Never turned it over. We just tipped it on its side, and that means bring our check. So we went from green to side, and then they bring you this beautiful dessert option, like 12 exotic desserts, flan, and creme brulee, and I had key lime cheesecake, and then they had this.
Lime.
Oh my gosh! And I'm not going to tell you, like, the meat was here.
Did you
and
get
then the
meat
dessert
sweats?
went to here, and I ate the whole thing.
Oh my gosh!
And
did you get the meat sweats?
I'm putting on the weight that you were taking off. That's all I got to say. I got the meat shits too later. That's about all I know. Anyway, I came home though to back to the culture of get back to work, put your nose to the grindstone, and so it is what it is.
Wait, you pooped at your boyfriend's house? Is that what you said?
No, I'm not going to lie to you. That might be a show because I actually have the most complex of manners. No, I won't ever fart in front of anyone, anyone.
That is not true.
I've never farted in front of you, Tina.
Okay.
I have? I have not. I have farted. Okay.
In my office.
This is on air. Okay, so my air is on air. But no, being serious, I won't because it's not attractive. But I grew up in a home where it was lady, like Southern manner. But my brothers and my fathers bonded by bodily fluid and noises and functioning. Jared's the same way, so he can fit right in.
We have fights in my house. Greg and I, one of our biggest things I'm not kidding you, we do not fight. Well,
do you fart in front of him?
I do.
What?
I do, because I have issues with my digestive tract. And so for my whole 20s, I didn't shit or fart like that anybody knew of. And so now but even before that, I had issues. So I don't mess around like that. Now I just don't mess around like that. I need an aid to have a movement more often than not.
Is that a sign of I'm truly comfortable with you, so I'm going to do this in front of you? Or is that a sign of it is what it is and I'm going to...
No, it's comfortable because I, like you, will not just come in here and rip one. Like
No.
I wouldn't... I would never do that. But it's such a huge point of contention in our home. Greg is the only man, so he farts. And it's a game. It's a sport to him. It's a sport. I'm not kidding you. And he will dust crop a room like nobody ever.
Oh my gosh. We got into that because I actually found entertainment because it was sick. It stunk so bad. And we were in the grocery store and he pulled me into it and I'm like, ugh! And I started walking away and I'm like, do it again. And then like walk by these people. So I was asking them to crop dust people to be, if I can't do it, I might as well have someone do it for me.
Oh, you can. It's just a skill that you need to work on.
Right. I have asked gently, can you please, we live in a condo. We don't live in a big house.
Right.
Please don't fart in the kitchen while I'm cooking. That was a big one. Why are you, it's like Starbucks. They don't like to make toast. They don't like to toast their bagels because they think that ruins the smell of their coffee. Don't fart in my kitchen. I hate the word fart
savor
too.
The flavor,
I don't even call it.
Flavor
it's the F
saver?
word.
What's a flavor saver? Just kidding.
I don't. Isn't that?
Yeah.
Okay. But we've argued about that and he just laughs. It's just funny to him. And his dad, I know he got it from his dad because his dad, I don't know that I've ever heard his dad fart in front of me, but that's a thing. That's how guys bond. Am I right, Sean? Is that something that you...
Not anymore.
But when you were young...
Honestly, that's how I try to bond with my kid. Fart jokes and stuff. Yeah.
And make no...
Problem, he's more mature than me, so he rolls his eyes at Dad and like, Dad, that's inappropriate.
My daughter...
I'm like, now you're sounding like your mom. Stop it.
Yeah, my daughter, no holds barred. She's just like a dude.
Oh, Samantha was like that too when she was little.
And she
just ripping them.
I'm all like, go check your pants. Like, go check your pants, Jared. Like, you just shit your pants, and we have no extra underwear for you.
That's funny.
But I'm completely impressed that we went down the fart hole on that one.
Well,
Not even the rabbit hole.
We are
went down
halfway
a
through our
hole.
show and haven't introduced our talk, which is fine with me. I just think that
it's a huge topic.
I don't like the word. I've said FART like 5 times. That's probably more than I've said it in years. And I forbade my kids from saying that.
What do you call it? Toot?
No. Well, sometimes
Gas?
we call them poopy crackers. So
Yeah, that's so much better.
What
It
in the
is.
question mark is that?
it's a cracker that smells like poop. It's a poopy cracker.
I'm going to try to find one. Okay,
So,
guests, our
yeah.
shows that we're going to go to the second half, but we are talking about the effects and side effects of social media.
Social media and mental health.
Woo! Big time. Find us on Facebook right now. We're live.
This is Whack-A-Mole with Tina B and Charmaine G. Raw discussion about the messiness of life. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Whack-A-Mole. We welcome you back to Whack-A-Mole. Raw discussions about the messiness of life. Now, here are your hosts, Tina B and Charmaine G.
And we're back.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so we've talked about flatulence, the other F word,
Quarterbacking, swig,
quarterbacking,
drinks,
Tom
diets.
Brady, swig, what we did, being lazy, all good things.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Me too. So
That was
today,
a great faceless therapy. That's what I call that.
What?
Faceless therapy.
Oh,
just
what we just- that-
releasing. Yeah.
it's funny because we do come in here, and Charmaine and I try not to talk on Tuesdays. We work together, and we try not to talk on Tuesdays because we start talking about the topic, and then we're like, no, we need to
Save it.
Yeah, so we try not to do that. But when we come in here for the 10 minutes before all three of us are ready to start the show, we're doing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
This topic is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, and mostly after my children got phones. We're going to talk about social media.
More accessible.
Yeah, and the pros and cons. In researching this topic, there were positive things about
Sure.
social media, for sure. And then there were negative things. And I want to say before all of this, the scales, there's scales for sure. So when I think about this, and I give this a lot of thought, this is the way that our world is progressing. When I was little, I was just telling my girls this literally yesterday. When I was growing up, it was TV.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom or my dad would literally come and before remotes, they would come into the living room and slap the on-off button because it was just a button you pulled in and out. Bam! And we would just disperse like, fuck you. Okay, fine, we're out.
Go take a bath.
And we'd go outside. She would literally be like, go outside. You stop. And it's the same thing. Only we now have the handheld version of that. And it's not just the handheld version of that. We're communicating with other people, with the outside world.
Strangers.
Through this. Oof.
Loved ones.
I mean, this is a topic that we can go on and on and on about. It has so many facets. I'm going to start here. Okay, so social media and mental health, positive aspects of social media. You communicate and stay up to date with family and friends around the world. That's beautiful. When I first got a Facebook account back in I think when it came out was 2008, a friend of mine from back in California had given me, had told me, oh, have you heard about this thing called Facebook? Which sounds so funny right now. And he showed me and we set it up. And I was like, the only friends, I'm not kidding, for 5 years on Facebook were only in Southern California where I was from. They were only those friends, with the exception of family that I have, Florida,
Everywhere.
Jersey, Washington, all that. But I had and I've always been a little weird. It's only in the last year that I've allowed people to friend me locally. Because I don't want them to, there's a privacy thing for me that I don't
You
really.
want privacy on the biggest platform of non-privacy.
Yeah, totally.
And you have a right to do that.
Yes.
And you have a click of the button that won't allow that. So good on you.
The podcast has changed that for me because now I'm friending people and I have to find a balance with that too. Like I don't want to sacrifice my integrity or my values or beliefs to get somebody to listen to our podcast. I'm not motivated by that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not using it as a
I'm not pimping it out like that. You know.
Pimpin' whack-a-mole.
Right. So one of the things is communicate and stay up to date with family and friends around the world. Find new friends and communities. Network with other people who share similar interests or ambitions. I also do that. I belong to groups on Facebook. Do you?
Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I've evolved. I have no time. It's a time thief, and I could say that I belong to groups. Yes. But I only belong because they asked for the invites and I'm helping another person promote or be a part of. If I need a job posting, I'll post it. Mm-hmm. So it's literally for the benefit of use.
Right.
And not, but I used to use it for these things of, oh my gosh, I haven't even seen this person in years. Oh my gosh, look at their kids. They had kids. God let them have kids. What is he thinking? No, I'm just kidding. But that's me actually. But the time that goes into nurturing those relationships that, I mean, honestly, some things are pros and cons on that end of it too. But I didn't want everybody in my world. And especially, I could show them whatever I wanted to. You know, I'm a puppet. Look at me. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. All these things that we just want to present that may not be reality. But
that's interesting because just the other day, there's a young woman that I love very much. She has a couple of kids, and her pictures are, her kids are gorgeous, and it's just the whole family thing. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't do stuff like that. I might post a family picture once a year after we've had them, but I'm not big into that. And so you think, oh, this person is thriving and growing, and how wonderful. And then one day, last week, boom, she posted something, a picture of, it was a cartoon of a mom being like chained to a baby, and she went on about how she's struggling with stuff, and so it's deceiving. It is what you want people to see. You can pick and choose how good you want to look on social media. So there's that downside. There's a cowardly
trolls.
Yeah, and it's cowardly because you can just say, this is what I want everybody to think and how I am. And I'm not one I don't sway either way. Mm-hmm. I might throw something on there, like a funny meme. I'm about that, okay? I like to throw up, or just something that's uplifting. I don't go on there and go on and on about, my husband farts throughout the house and it's a sport to him. I'm not going to talk about that on social media.
I do have to say what I'm drawn to more is like on this point 3 of promoting things that are worthwhile and getting involved in worthy causes, because you get limited time and how you use it is very valuable. So I've gotten to that stage to where it's not about representing myself and what's going on in my life. It's about what else is out there in the world, that because I'm in this, in this one little lane that I'm in. However, though, life's a little bit more important to me, and I can't express to you how much technology's advanced between my generation and this new generation. The electronic communication style, the non-in-person, has disconnected and made interpersonal relationship skills plummet. I mean, it's almost
sad.
If you go to a restaurant, I want to challenge everybody. When you go out to eat next time, like I'm in the room and Sean's on his phone.
Totally.
I'm blasting it. I'm only saying it's reality. How many times you sit with your family and you look across the room and you're like, maybe I should get my phone out because everybody's got their phone out.
Yeah.
You realize that you're in a room full of people and you're not even talking, but you can actually have a conversation through your phone. That's a sad thing to watch.
We have a rule. when we eat anything, whether we're at home or we're out, because we do eat out at least once a week on Saturdays. We go out to lunch as a family. And we're not allowed to be on our phones. We're
That's
just
healthy.
Yeah, I usually leave mine in the car because the temptation at times for me can be, this has been my thing. I have children. So like you,
You want to protect them.
well, and when I'm out, they need to be able to get a hold of me. Like I have this
Sure.
irrational, but I didn't have to do that with my mom in like 1979. She was,
No.
I'd leave and she was just like, okay, hope for the best.
Internet wasn't even
Hope
happening.
you come back.
But I have to admit, though, you can tell when somebody is struggling, and that is such like a huge, valuable tool that immediately I've had that to where I may log in randomly and see in my feed. It's an algorithm that they populate without me even saying anything about it, because that's their tech that they're trying to track and data and all that stuff. However, you see a loved one that's having a hard time, I don't respond back on Facebook. I'm calling them.
Yeah.
But the support that you can get when you're grieving or a loss or something very devastating, I am sure and certain without a shadow of a doubt that it can help lift somebody, just knowing they're not alone. And how impersonable it is, they can reference back to that, and it's almost like they validate how many people were in their lives that day over that one event.
I totally get that because there's a couple of groups I belong to. There's an AA group, and then there's another one called the Alcohol Experiment. That's a private group, according to this book that I was reading not too long ago, and very supportive. Very in some other groups, there are people who are like bossy, opinionated, and controlling.
Man behind the curtain.
Not me. Just
No, Tina,
random
never.
people.
Not you.
Anyway, but there's people that, yes, you can get that support, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
That is also just a private group. I mean, even though it's sometimes a couple of thousand people. So but
Not
it's not
private.
blasted out to the public. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I know that my girls don't do that. They don't drone on and on about, I woke up this morning and I got my period and I just don't feel right.
Some
And-
people do daily journals. Look
Totally,
what I'm eating.
and I
Look,
think-
I'm on it. Yeah.
And
day
I think
4
they're
of
wanting
my
to pull in. It's a cry for attention. To me, it's just not the place that I want to get that from.
It's impersonable. However, though, not only the support when you're grieving and the mental wellness that it can bring to you when you have a team behind you, but it's celebratory too. So when you actually have a wonderful occasion, it's again reconnecting to people that you may not be able to have at your fingertips. So many people, they account for how many people are in their lives by the hearts and the thumbs up
Yeah.
and all those things that I've also seen the double-edged sword to where they're like, oh, nobody's paying attention to me. And I've seen it cause anxiety or lack of depression because there's almost like a disconnection already, and then they just stamped it.
I noticed for me that there's an algorithm. Every time I post, like if I change my profile picture or I post a picture, which I really don't, please, have
People
issues.
that you haven't heard
But I
of from
don't-
ever.
Well, then you'll get like 100 likes,
Yep.
comments.
Yep.
But
Does it make you feel good?
of course,
Yeah.
I'm human, of course. But then there's times that I might post a memory of a conversation I had with Sam 10 years ago, and they're funny, and I'll get like 1 like.
It has to be the algorithms.
See, my favorite is I had a memory from like 10 plus years ago show up. And so I shared it with the individual, like, hey, remember this? And then they blocked me on Facebook, unfriended me, and then blocked me.
What was that
Shut.
purpose?
Was it a bad memory?
No, it was a good memory. It was a good memory.
And it was
Oh, but
just a
they've
shock.
just
Like, where did
evolved
this come
social
from?
media-wise?
Well, I don't know. We had gone on a couple dates, and it was about one of those dates, and it was just a fun thing. And I guess, she's like, oh, my God, I'm married. I can't talk to people anymore type of thing. And
Okay.
I don't know what
That
the deal
makes
was.
sense.
So I'm just like, But, okay, well, haven't talked to you in 10 years. Bye.
And isn't it easier for somebody to unfriend you on Facebook or Instagram than it is to just
I don't want to be your friend anymore.
exactly like stand at the window and go,
I'm not
fuck
going to
you, bye.
Well,
People get so
uses me.
courageous on social
And
media.
I love when they're like, I'm cleaning up my contacts, and if you didn't make the cut, then I'm sorry for you. And I'm all like,
I have
What
an
is
app.
why-
I have an app that tells me who has deleted me or closed their account.
Get GTFO.
up.
Okay, we need to pull him into this conversation because if you have an
want to
app-
know?
Yeah,
Do
so
you?
I know.
Why?
Well, I can tell who's closed their account. It's like they have closed their account, or they have deleted you, or they have blocked you.
Why do you?
How many
wanna
blocks
know?
do you have?
I don't know, not many, a few. But I block people too. It's like whatever.
I've only blocked crazy exes,
It's a lot. Then.
not mine.
Not that I've had a bunch of those, but
No, but
One in
does that
particular.
make you feel sad or depressed that you're like,
Well, sometimes, yeah. I mean, I'll get a friend delete,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, oh, but then I'll think I haven't talked to them in a decade.
Mm-hmm.
We have nothing in common,
that works on me.
and honestly,
That shit works on me.
And
That's
then-
why I would never have that app. I
and I'm
would
just
never.
like, But some people, it's just like, well, hey, where'd you go? What's going on? Is everything all right? Mm-hmm. So
well, I
it,
think
it depends on the person.
it does depend
people
on the
come and
person,
go. Some of
and
them
it
you want them to
depends
stick
on
around.
Your mood.
Yeah.
It depends on your mood, because if you're being fulfilled and edified in your other environments, your real life environments, those blocks, I've laughed. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But the negative side effects that it causes to you mentally, those little acts of click of a button of inadequacy.
Yeah, that preoccupation
Well,
of
that happened to me
Yeah.
yesterday. So I made a snarky remark to a friend of mine. I've been trying to get some information from him. And then he wrote me the thing. He's like, hey, I've been really busy with this thing. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I also noticed at the same time that he wrote that to me on Messenger, he posted something on his wall saying, what the hell is wrong with these people who can't wait a few days? Or why do you always have to start an email like that?
passive aggressive.
Very
bullshit.
vague. And I was just like,
And you took it like, oh my gosh.
yeah, because it was the exact
that was
same
to
time.
me.
It was
Yeah.
the same time. So I actually wrote him a couple hours later. I said, dude, I hope I didn't offend you, because I took it personally.
I wouldn't have said
It had-
that. I would have said, clearly,
It had
I have offended you.
No,
Is
it
there
had-
money involved? What's involved that makes you not be
Why
rude?
are we thinking
Honestly, it had-
everything's cryptic? It probably was nothing, was
it had nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
No, I lie. I don't believe that.
Okay. No, I'm
But
not going to lie to you.
I was
People
worried about
think
it. I was
everything's
concerned about it.
cryptic.
The last thing I wanted to do was offend my friend. That was
That's
like the
the first
last
thing
thing.
I
Well,
wanna
no,
do.
And
I
so
think
that's why
a
I was
good,
concerned and
genuine
worried about it.
follow-up.
And that's
a
why I
good,
followed
genuine
up.
follow-up.
And I'll do that. And I'm doing that more and more. If I see myself saying or doing something, it's like, hey, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
right.
I'll retract it. I'll take it off.
You're probably one of like nobody that does that, because there's so much cyberbullying that goes on online
It's
that
horrible.
I mean, that wasn't that incident, but in this younger generation, you can press that you're older than 13 or 18, and nobody's ever going to know. But they have these accounts, and they use this as their belonging sense. And when they all will attack, on something that you're posting or whatever, I've seen kids literally not want to go to school. My life is over.
Yeah, that's
girls,
ridiculous.
boys. But then there's this like addiction that they're missing out. So they got to stay constantly connected to it.
FOMO.
It's
That's
because,
on here.
It's
Yes.
because I saw a thing the other day. One of the actually, it was one of the other podcasts talked about this. I think it's 1 out of 4 people cannot claim that they have a close friend.
Really, on their social media.
No, period. That they do not have a interpersonal relationship that can be considered as a close or best or confidant, friend or whatnot.
That's horribly sad.
And so you have so many people that are living on superficial levels because they have 15,000 friends on Facebook.
Yes.
But they
That's true.
don't have that one person that they can absolutely go to.
Do you?
Yes, I have a few actually.
Okay.
That's good.
Do you?
I do. And my value of friend is probably not, it's definitely not superficial. It's deep root.
Mm-hmm.
Tina's a very dear friend of mine and will be a lifelong. I've always been taught you're very lucky to have those very few
Mm-hmm.
that will roll through the punches with you. But I know that people will post things. My parents are guilty of it. I'm going to blast you because you guys, honestly, this political hot mess stuff has been the worst thing. To sit there and divide people and slashing of silver tongues. I mean, I've just sit there because they're brave. They get this confidence and they're like totally annihilating them with their own views, or, maybe they do have more factual information, but belittling and smearing and all these things that your privacy is not just yours to click the button and say, I don't want you to be my friend. Your other friends can blast you. And so it isn't private. Nothing's private once you're online. And I say that because I don't have time. But I also know that I was so drawn to being, what's going on? What's going on that person? And you'd walk into work and say, did you see so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so? It's okay. Breathe through it. Just breathe through it. It's happening. But I didn't stay connected. And then I almost feel like I am missing out.
Yeah. Well, social media took, politics took social media. It just took, the whole thing just took a jagged turn. Mm-hmm. It just went over there. And it's easy for me to get caught up in arguing with somebody, and not necessarily about politics. I got into an argument with an old friend who I haven't spoken to since. Like, I want to call him, but every time I go to dial his number, I'm like, no, he should call me. That's a different episode. That's a totally different podcast. But there's that. And the fact that people can hide what started this whole, thing. People are more ballsy. I don't know that I am more ballsy on social media. I think I'm less because I have been an asshole before, and you get 15 people that are going to attack you.
It does not take much.
And 15 that might support you.
It doesn't take much.
Right. But if I'm having a discussion with somebody else and I am being assertive and I'm disagreeing, plus there's tone to me when I'm talking to somebody and disagreeing. I want to try to do that with as much tact as I can and whatnot. When you're just writing stuff,
nobody can see that.
No, and they don't get the tone. They don't get
all
of that.
You're not caring what other people think. It's about you.
No.
Listen to me. That's what happens.
True. It's very one-sided.
Yeah. And so I don't care what people say. Well, then, because you have no friends. You're going to die alone.
Ow. See, that's a dagger.
It is, but I think that's the problem with social media. It's just like, I don't care. And if you cared about the people you were talking to, you would care about what you were saying and how you were saying it.
Yeah, I do think that a lot of people have been able to promote their businesses and their platforms, and there's been so many positive things from it. But it is in every nook and corner and cranny in the world. So if you have an Instagram, if you have a Twitter, if you have a Facebook, there's Tumblr, there's so many things out there that you literally are time invested in, and you're out there. People will transpose your pictures and take your identity, and there is no holds barred. You put it on there, it is the world's to see and the world's to use. Mm-hmm. So be careful and use it respectfully, no matter even if whatever purpose you use it for. There's always an underlying reason of why people go into these type of, I want to use Facebook. I want a Facebook account. My 11-year-old son, Mom, I want a Facebook account. Why? Because so have my friends. I can talk to my friends. I'm like, don't you talk to them every day? Don't you have a phone?
And can't you just text them?
Yeah.
Because you're already doing that.
Yeah. And he's like, no, but everybody has them. And I'm like, I get that, Landa, but everybody, honestly, I just want you to stay young as long as you can. Because once you're out there, you're going to be hurt. Your feelings are going to get hurt. And I almost feel like you can't protect them because it is every day. If you present yourself, you will get the world in your home. Does that make sense? Yep.
Yeah.
What are the underlying
then it turns
reasons?
into, this was my big thing. I think next week there's so much to cover here. I think next week we should expand this topic to how it's affecting us as parents and affecting our children, because I could talk on and on about that. So I remember telling Samantha and Marissa, it's more Samantha, and only because of the type of phones that they have now. There's 7 years between them. When Marissa had a phone, she couldn't do a quarter of the stuff that the kids that Samantha can do now. There wasn't a quarter of the apps. I mean, there's just a big span there.
Right.
The world is not going to raise my kid. And it's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to... I heard just the other day that there's an app. I don't want to say the name of it because I don't know that I have it correct, but that girls can send nudes and men subscribe, or whoever, people can subscribe.
It's deleted within...
No, but it's like $6.99 they pay for this unlimited use of these nudes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Sean knows all about
It's called OnlyFans.
That's what it is.
And it's like a whole, you display yourself into the degree that you want, and you sell the items that you want for the prices you want, and that seems to be the go-to place for amateur ladies wanting to sexually get some money
themselves
and make money.
They make money.
Interesting. And there is no restrictions. There's no oversight of use of that. I mean, there's no parental controls. There's no governmental regulations.
I think you need a credit card. You need to supply some stuff before you can actually. So it's, you can't be doing like underage sexting on that. I haven't looked into it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're about to wrap up here, folks. Let's resume this because there's an underlying reason why we use social media. Boredom, loneliness,
FOMO, depression.
Connect with people live this week. Just try to put it down. See the difference of the quality you can bring into the world.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We look forward to seeing you. This is our gift to you.
You've been listening to Whack-A-Mole with Tina B and Charmaine G. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Watch us on YouTube and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Join us next time for, well, whatever may happen with Tina B and Charmaine G on Whack-A-Mole. This has been a production from a podcast studio.